Hello and welcome to Community Distance Reiki. I'm Danielle Stimpson. I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and I've been teaching Reiki for about 13 years. Honored and privileged to share this healing with you today. So, for those of you who are new, welcome. Those who are returning, welcome back. Those of you watching this on the replay know that you are going to have just as healing a time whenever and wherever you happen to be. But if you do want to join us live, I'm here 5 times a week. I'm here Wednesdays at 4 p.m., Thursdays at 8 a.m., Fridays at 4 and 8 p.m., and Sundays at 8 p.m. U.S. East Coast time, which right now is on daylight time, so that's GMT -4. So if you are here live, go ahead and enter any healing requests you might have into the live chat, and I will go ahead and pick some crystals for the crystal grid based around those. And then in the second half hour, I will transition into explaining a little bit about what Reiki is for those of you who might be new to the concept. And then I will go ahead, turn up the music, and start sending healing to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. If you'd like to learn more about my online Reiki classes, any of my social media, my free community Discord, or my crystal shop, go ahead and look in the description and you'll be able to see the links and the info for all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm just going to check the chat, see what, if any, requests we have today, and we'll start building the grid. Carawhite. I am still looking for my carawhite. I know I have a piece of carawhite somewhere, but I have not had any luck finding it. And right now is a tough time to find carawhite. It's only mined in Russia. So I hope I still have a piece. Sorry if I don't, but I will continue looking. And welcome from London. Welcome from London. This is why I love to do all different time zones, or all different times of day, because I get to see folks in different time zones. But I will go ahead and, releasing anger. You got it. That is some howlite territory. So for those of you who are new, one of the concepts that works behind the scenes of community distance Reiki is that of communal chi. We see that concept in Chinese medicine. We see that concept actually in lots of different places. It's called many different things, but the concept that the more people come together with the same or similar intention, the greater that energy potential is magnified. So even though we're coming together digitally, we're still enhancing each other's sessions just by being here, even though our energy fields are actually protected from each other. The crystal grid helps to make that communal effort tangible while making yet another dynamic of healing. I'm going to go ahead and switch up the screen so you can actually watch the crystal grid as I build it. Just bear with me one moment. Here we go. And let's see what we have. So releasing anger, definitely howlite territory, as I mentioned. Howlite is excellent for anger, resentment, those stubborn feelings that are really hard to release in a way that is constructive rather than destructive. It's often confused with white turquoise, which is a beautiful stone, but a different stone. You got it. So releasing anger. Got it. For feeling energized and lit up. Definitely have you covered there. And for some specific healing, we do have some requests for leopardskin jasper, smoky quartz. Do have some prehnite. So for energy, motivation, like kind of just shaking off that stuck kind of feeling, we have uh, Bumblebee Jasper. Bumblebee Jasper, it really like it warms you up in a good way. It motivates you not so much in a jarring sense, but in an I'm happy to get up and get moving kind of sense. Just a side note on Bumblebee Jasper, it does contain some amounts of arsenic, so definitely do not make any kind of direct infusions with this stuff. Here we go. Bumblebee Jasper. And we've got leopardskin jasper, smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is excellent for so many things. It's another one of the all-purpose stones. It really helps optimize the flow of Reiki. It's deeply protective and deeply protective in an empowering way, in that it allows you to feel protected but encouraged to move forward of your own volition, not so much like protected and anchored down. I make my grids very intuitively, so each one is completely different. If you're watching this on the replay, or if you would like to like acquire these different crystals, you can always check my crystal shop, but if you want to find them locally, awesome. They're always in the description at the end of the stream. I'll type them out so that you can see how to spell them, so that it becomes a lot easier to source them locally. Smoky Quartz. Let's go ahead and do leopardskin jasper. Leopardskin jasper does so many things. On a spiritual level, it can be excellent for connecting with our animal guides. And really any of our, in a sense, it's often called lower world, which is not to be confused with the underworld, but lower world like animal guides, some ancestors, things like that. But it's excellent for connecting with spirit guides. It's also excellent for supporting us through different challenging times, allowing us to receive guidance and understand it, gaining clarity from those messages from our guides, even if we don't have the most visionary experiences. A lot of folks feel like they can only work with their guides if they're like seeing their guides or very clearly hearing their guides, like an intuitive you would see on TV. And that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes our guides bring us messages just through a knowingness. Sometimes it's in dreams. Sometimes it's just in like divine inspiration when we're doing something really mundane, like scrubbing or running or walking or anything that's kind of like mechanical. For some folks, it's cooking. For some folks, it's in the shower. So go ahead and pay attention to what guidance comes to you, especially if you hear it more than once. But even if it just feels like a really good idea, it might be intuitive guidance. Have some fluorite. Organization and productivity. I might have some other fun friends. Yep. Self-love, self-esteem, feeling beautiful. Definitely got you there. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you're feeling the good energy from this grid. Let's see, fluorite. We had some fluorite come and join us yesterday. It's an excellent one for teeth and bones, and I mean, fluoride, absolutely. But it really does help with calming the mind. It can help with focus, especially if you're kind of at loose ends. If you keep getting this idea that, ooh, I'm pulled here, I'm pulled there, it can help calm and relax the mind while you focus on what needs to get done, and it can help with setting priorities. To that end, also, tigerite and labradorite can be helpful. And these are actually how fluorite forms in nature. These octahedrons, that's its natural crystal shape. These have not been cut into this shape. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're having fun. And yeah, this is a great grid so far. Oh my goodness. Self-love, self-esteem. Absolutely. I've got 2 for that. Let's see, some blue kyanite. There we go. Start with that. So blue kyanite is excellent for accepting ourselves exactly as we are and finding pride in ourselves, especially in cases of where we've been told that we are less than, when we've been shamed and things like that. It's an excellent stone for just loving and accepting ourselves exactly as we are. It's also wonderful to go along with the leopardskin jasper in that it really helps us to understand the spiritual guidance we're getting. Go. And for more support on self-love, feeling beautiful, self-esteem, definitely yellow calcite. Awesome. Yellow calcite is full of lovely, sunny, yellow energy. And it's just a really happy stone. It allows us to not only feel more confident in who we are, but more of a sense of happy, good-natured pride in who we are. And usually pride we're not thinking about as like a good thing. When we're talking about pride of who we are, it's a very good thing. It's not pride in like the car in the driveway. It's not pride in what we've done, our accomplishments. It's pride in who we fundamentally are as a person and taking some joy from that. And this is yellow calcite. It's wonderful for that. I love the way it works with the solar plexus chakra, which is our center of free will and who am I. Saying I'm proud to be who I am. There we go. A very balancing stone. Wonderful. And prehnite. I may only have a very large piece of that, so I can put it kind of beside here. But bear with me one moment. Here we go. Prehnite is excellent for healers and teachers. Excellent for healers and teachers. In fact, when I had my healing center in Philadelphia, which was, I closed it at the start of COVID, kind of seeing what was coming. And this was on the altar that reflected back at the students. So I had this big piece. And let's get some other big pieces to round that out. Yeah, we've got time. Hang on a second. So to balance out our prehnite, I have this beautiful amethyst that was gifted to me by a Reiki Master grad. Speaking of Smoky Quartz, another beautiful piece of Smoky Quartz. This is the natural form in which it grew. It was not cut into double crystals. This is a twin, or sometimes called a timekeeper. This is natural Smoky Quartz. And this beauty is malachite. This is just natural malachite as it's found in the ground, not polished or anything like that. This is part of why you can see why malachite is so expensive. One, it's mined near copper, which is an expensive process in and of itself. But second, to get them tumbled down to where you see a perfectly round piece, you go through a lot of crystal because it forms in this sort of chunky, crunchy, many edges sort of form. Malachite is excellent for the heart chakra, everything we would think the heart to be in alignment with. It's good for things like having pride in yourself and seeing yourself as lovable, especially in situations where someone has told you you're not. And it's also excellent for helping support someone through something that is like a depression, whether that's depression as an illness or whether that's depression that's come about from something recent, like a recent loss or something like that. And I mean, of course, we know the crystals support us through so many things, but they're not a replacement for anything else. They're more of like a complement. So, of course, I'm the Reiki master that will admit to you, yes, I do Reiki all day long, and I take antidepressants, and I work with crystals because you know what? That's what my healing mix is right now. And I empower you to do the same and make the same choices that work for you and support you through whatever you happen to be going through. Times are real tough right now. I mean, you know, they've not been easy at any point. That's not what life is about. But at the same time, it's a little extra right now. I think we can all agree on that. And so I hope that this grid helps support us all. Yes, blue azurite is found very close to malachite, and there may be some blue azurite in here. Trace amounts of it. I think it's just the camera picking up that kind of blue. Yeah, this is actually green, but it's the way that the crystals have formed, they're not reflective. There's lots of ways these crystals can form. There's even one way it can form called chatoyance, which looks like crystals all growing out. It's a really unique look. There we go. And I think I might even have some azurite to show you. Perhaps. So if you're wondering what that malachite, would look like if it were polished, if you've seen it before, this is what it looks like when you find a piece that's polished. And malachite can be one of the more pricey stones, and that's why, because to take something so rough and bumpy like this and get a round piece that shows all the different layers of different tones, you go through a lot of stone. Don't have a piece of azurite laying close by, but I do have chrysocolla. Chrysocolla is also mined very close to uh, malachite. Azurite is that azure blue. It's a very deep, rich blue. Chrysocolla is wonderful for the heart chakra, everything we would think the heart to be incredible for. It's a great boost for the heart and for when you're really kind of coming out of a tough place. Also, one of the stones that's recommended by some for pain. I'm always taking in additional perspectives and learning from new authors, even though I've been working with crystals for years. And Cassandra Eason recommends this one for physical pain, though I've never used it for that before. So I'm excited to try that at some point. And I think now we're ready to go ahead and get started. And as I'm about to explain what Reiki is, I always try to put something there for everybody to sort of choose from. Uh, I can do either of these. One is Dalmatian Jasper, which is this white jasper with streaks of black tourmaline running through it. And because we can't really see through the stone, it gives that appearance of speckles. This is excellent for clearing the auric field and clearing energy in general. Or rose quartz. Rose quartz is wonderful for everything you would think the heart to be: unconditional love, uh, helping us to feel supported and encouraged and nurtured. And so go ahead and list your favorites in the chat. I can add either rose quartz or Dalmatian Jasper or a little bit of both. Go ahead and let me know your preferences and we'll get back to that. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and explain what Reiki is and a little bit of how our share works, and then we'll dive into it. So yeah, put my rose quartz here. So the style of Reiki that I work with most is known as Usui Reiki. It's named after Mikao Usui, who created this particular method or style of working with this energy. Reiki energy and practices of working with it exist as far back as the beginning of humanity. And Usui's method takes into account many different perspectives, and it was created in 1920s Japan. He only actually taught it for about 3 years before he passed away. His particular style was unique in that he was deeply trained in many different practices of spirituality, of understanding different concepts from Confucianism to Taoism. He was trained in different shamanic arts, and he was a Tendai Buddhist monk. He created his method, which he called Usui Shiki Ryoho, or Usui's method of natural healing, as a more secular way and more modern way of connecting with this energy to support body, mind, and spirit, to empower people to make the changes that they wanted to make in their lives, and to impact and benefit the health of the practitioner and their communities, respectively. At the time in which Usui was teaching this, and even now, most everybody in Japan is aware of energy healing, Tenohira, Teate, energy-based palm healing. This is something taught in most homes, and it's understood as like a cultural element of everything has a soul. That's part of Shintoism, or the cultural spirituality of Japan. So everybody knows a little bit of how to do energy-based palm healing. It's something taught even when you're young, you would know about it. And Usui created this method to kind of enhance what most people already knew, so that they could get a little more from their practice. They could hone it a little bit more and be of more support, not only to themselves, but to those around them, professionally even, should they want to. But this was at a time in Japanese history where you could not teach religion. If you were teaching anything other than Shintoism, you could be killed. So this was very much a secular art, a spiritual art based in those basic Shinto understandings of everything has a soul and we're all interconnected. As that is true, we are all interconnected. One of those energies that flows through all of us is Reiki, or spiritually guided life force energy. And with this particular style of session, what I'll be doing is connecting to that energy that you already have. It's already flowing through you. It's already doing all the things that it does. And I'll be simply directing it to all of you for the greatest healing good, in support of you, in support of any particular healing intentions you might have, whether you stated them in chat or kept them to yourself, or if you're watching this in the future. At any point in time, just go ahead and bring them to mind, take a deep breath, and let those healing intentions go, and the universe will support you. During the session, I will have the crystal view up, I'll have some music on. You're invited to just close your eyes, chill out, and relax and get comfortable wherever you happen to be. You don't have to close your eyes. You can meditate, you can do yoga, you can do any of those things if you want to, but really you don't have to do a darn thing. Simply be. You don't have to focus on anything throughout the session, and you don't have to keep a quiet mind or an empty mind, unless you want to. That's up to you. But you don't have to do either of those things. I find sometimes just being open can allow our minds to process some things that maybe we're not able to do otherwise, or even open up to intuition and intuitive guidance. So I encourage you, if you feel like you're distracted at any point during the session, or if you're not sure what's coming in as sort of racing mind or intuition, just take a deep breath and see if it doesn't just reset things for you. At the end of the half an hour, I'll welcome you back by inviting you to take a deep breath in and out. And then I'll open up the chat again, and I'll encourage you to ask any questions you might have. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And if you're watching this on the replay, or if you think of a question later, all of my information for online Reiki classes, my social media, my online Discord, which is free, and my crystal shop, all that good stuff is in the description below. If you haven't already, if you could go ahead and like the stream, that really helps people to learn about me. I've only moved this from Zoom, where we kind of outgrew Zoom, to YouTube about 7 weeks ago, and already we're doing really well, due in large part to all of you. So thank you for being here. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So let's see what we have. Hey, Susan. Hi, Grace. Let's see. Dalmatian Jasper, both. Rose quartz. Let's do both. Awesome, let's do both. And good morning, Grace. Oh, Grace, I owe you an email. I will get back to you, I promise. So let's do both. Rose quartz. Here, let's switch the cameras back. Here we go. Awesome, so some rose quartz there. Some rose quartz here. Actually, let's do this. And Dalmatian Jasper. There we go. Awesome. Sweet. Wonderful. Thank you all so much for your help and support in building the grid. Appreciate it so much. So go ahead, get relaxed. You can move around, get comfortable, get up and get something if you need to at any point in time. You don't have to remain perfectly still. And again, if you feel distracted or if your attention gets pulled somewhere else, just take a deep breath and sink back into the session. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to mute my mic, turn up the music, enjoy your healing, and I'll see you all in about a half an hour. I invite you now to take a deep breath. Slowly come back to your body. Thank you so much for being here today. As you come back, feel free to stretch, move, or bend. And check in with your body, see if you're thirsty, if you need any water. And if you have any questions at all, go ahead and use the chat. And if you're here on the replay, go ahead and enter any questions in the comments or reach out to me through social media or Discord. The links are in the description box. It's an honor and a privilege to share this healing with you all today. If you want to rewatch this healing in the future, you can find it by going into the past healing streams and looking for the date and or the picture of this crystal grid in the thumbnail so you can find it easily. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Tales from the Script. I'm glad you're feeling better. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you, Heart. Thank you, Future Someone. Thank you, Grace. Wonderful to see you all. There we go. You're so welcome. I hope all of you have a beautiful day and come back soon if you'd like. Don't forget to go ahead and click like on the stream, subscribe for more, subscribe with notifications if you want to know every time I go live. And it's same days and same times each week. I'm here every Thursday morning at 8 a.m., Fridays at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m., Sundays at 8 p.m., Wednesdays at 4 p.m., and all these times are East Coast US time, which right now is on Eastern Daylight Time, so GMT -4. Thank you all so much for being here. I will be active in the chat. Thank you so much. Absolutely come back soon and take care. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here, but I will be active in the chat for a little while longer. So if you have any questions, go ahead and pop them in there, whether it's about crystals or about Reiki. And I hope to see you next time. And go ahead and take care of yourself. Times are tough, but we can take care of ourselves so we can get to the next version of ourselves together. I'll see you all soon. Take care and be well.